Happy Sunday, YouTube. Happy Sunday. How are you guys doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. Waiting for my Facebookers to come online, and then we'll get started. Thank you guys for being here. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing well. My name is DeMarcus Tunstall. I'm here for your morning motivational mix of sorts. Today, actually, I'm kind of going over some pretty cool things that happened. I wanted to do a video yesterday, but I didn't end up doing it, so I apologize. Body's tired, but heart is filled with awesome experiences of forward focus. And I learned a lot yesterday because I did the Tough Mudder. I did the Spartan race. And I loved it. Loved. I love these races. They're always good. They're always fun. If you've never experienced one, in shape or out of shape, go do it. It's totally worth the time that you'll put into it. And you'll meet new people, and you'll have some great experiences. You'll have some eye-opening experiences if you see them. Because it's a lot more than just going through a race and completing an obstacle. It's a whole lot more than that. And so I actually wrote down some of the things that I actually got from this, because they're actually pretty motivational and pretty inspirational in itself. So the first things first, let's start off with fear. Fear will talk you out of whatever it is that you want. And I'll kind of go a little bit more into that, but let me talk about fear. So I love doing those races. I've done one before. I did the Warrior Dash, and it was 3.2 miles, and I loved it. And the reason I loved it is because it wasn't a lot of running, and that was great. And I've been training a lot more. First of all, actually, I'll go into that later. I've been wanting to do these, and I love them. And then I've also done a zombie race, which was freaking great. I remember that was fun. So what happened with this one is that I was driving for Uber yesterday, and I was doing a little Uber, and I had my alarm set in my phone to go to this race. Now, I hadn't made up my mind whether I was going to go to this race or not. I had made a decision on, whether or not I had the money. I made a decision, or hadn't made a decision because I didn't know if I had the money at the time. Do I have the money to spare? It's like going on vacation. Can I go? Because the thing is, I don't know. Lately, I've had black mold in my lungs and some other stuff in my lungs, and it's been eating my lungs up, and my air is different. And when I went to Denver, I was in the hospital for it. And so I was like, you can't run it. You can't, man. You're going to end up dying in the middle of the freaking field, or in the middle of the race or whatever. So I had all these excuses of why I could not do it. So what I recognized is that it was fear. And so I reached out to a friend of mine, and I asked her, I was like, so, I'm thinking about doing the mud run. And I was waiting for, I didn't know what she was going to say. And she said, you should do it. I was like, okay, fine. All right, I guess I'll go out there. So I go out there, and I just get out of my car. I don't think about it. I had my clothes in the back of my car, so it was always an afterthought of whether I was going to keep driving for Uber that day, because there's PGAs in town, there's a lot of money there, or if I'm going to get up and go run this race. And so I decided to go ahead and run this race because she said, go do it. And I was like, okay, great, because I wanted somebody to tell me to do it who didn't know my stories. So I was running. I had an inhaler in my pocket just in case. And I get out there. I sign up. I get in the 1:15 race. Literally got there at 1 in the 1:15 race. I didn't want to think about it. So lesson number 1 here is fear will talk you out of whatever you want. What it does is for 2 reasons. One, if you don't really want it, it gives you an escape. So, for example, I wanted it and I didn't want it, but I wasn't 100% sure about it, so it gave me escape. So I had permission by myself to not run because my lungs were bad, or to not run because my money is funny right now, because, I've been out of work for the 2 months, so I'm getting back into work, but my money's funny right now. I had every excuse in the book not to go that I could have utilized. My mind was racing through them, boom, 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 boom. Which is why I asked somebody else for, a little bit of guidance, because I knew my mind was going to do that. And the funny thing is that, oops, I got another one. So I'm writing them down, and you can't see. Hold on. I'm writing them down. So I actually made the decision to go ahead and do it. And I didn't allow fear. So number 1, if you don't really want it gives you a way to get out. Number 2, fear is designed to keep you safe. So when we get scared of something, when we get scared to make a move, when we get scared to sit back, it's actually trying to keep you safe and protect you from all the bad things that are out there that you think are out there. And fear is mental, 100% mental. Fear is mental until the moment that it happens, and then it dissipates. So fear will keep you safe and also give you an escape route. So I decided to go and do the run. Boom, I'm in it, right? So they're ready to go. They line us up at the line. 15 are leaving at a time. I'm at the 1:15. I didn't want the last one because I didn't know how long it was going to take me to do this because of my lungs. I also knew I was going to be stopping and resting because my lungs, I was scared. And I'm talking to myself about this. All right, you know what you got to do. Race starts. Boom. We are going up an incline, and then we turn, and up the incline, it would probably have been barbed wire, but we couldn't use barbed wire, so it was like just roped off. And so I'm bear crawling, probably about 50 feet. Get to the top of that. Guess what happens? My lungs kick in. I can't find air. I didn't freak out. I had my inhaler, hit it twice. Calm down a little bit. And I noticed that, we had 15, so I noticed that actually we had 16. I was the 15th because I was a little late because I didn't know where to go. I had to sign up there. So I go up this hill, and we get there on the top. The first thing is jump roping with heavy jump ropes and something on our legs. And so everybody else goes up. They get the thing out there. I'm sitting here trying to find air. I was like, is there water? Freaking out. I'm thinking right now, I swear to you, this is crazy. Right at that point in time, I was about to quit the race. I was about to walk off. I can't do this. Literally in my mind, dude, you can't do this. You feel your lungs, you're gonna end up like this. You're gonna everything. So everybody else is going on ahead, and there's this one girl standing right here, or doing the exercises over here. And I was like, okay, let me do this. So I'm jump roping. I get mine knocked out, and I start jogging, and she's still there doing hers. Now, not to say that she wasn't, she just wasn't in the shape ready for the race. I'll just put it that way, okay? And so I go jogging down the road, and I'm, going and I get to the stairs where we're going upstairs. By the way, I've never done so many dadgum stairs in my life. It's crazy. So I go up the stairs, and I was like, you know what? And the guy's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna wait for this girl. And so she comes around the corner, jogs a little bit, and I ended up kind of say, hey, how are you doing? She's like, well, we're gonna be the last, because I knew what my lungs were. I didn't want to go extra. And so one of the things about me, if you don't know this, is I'm one of those kind of people who I never want to leave anybody behind at my own expense. It's just something I've always done. I've always felt it'll be in my book one day, I promise you, and it'll explain it all. I never want to leave anybody behind. And so I told her, I was like, hey, come run with me, because otherwise I was running by myself. And I asked her, I was like, you have anybody that's running with you? Did they leave you? She's like, no. I was like, okay, so you're running by yourself too. Okay. So now it's just me and her. Okay, we're going up, and like I said, she wasn't really ready for the shape. She said it a couple times, and I just kept inspiring her, like, hey, you gotta go, I gotta go. One of the things I told her over and over again, she kept, when we get to an obstacle, I was like, do you need help, or you wanna do it yourself? And she would tell me, because we got close enough that she could tell me these things. And then, so she would tell me, and I would either help her or not. And I was helping everybody that I could. So it wasn't just helping her. We would come up against somebody else who was actually running a little slower, and I would help lift them up over walls. I would help motivate them. I would help anybody and anywhere. That's just, like I said, it's my nature. So she kept walking. She would run up to an obstacle, and she would stop, and she would look at it. And I'm doing exactly what she did, kind of look at it. And I would say to her, I was like, listen, your body can do this. It's your mind right now that's telling you you're not. That's lesson number 2, is that your body can do extraordinary things, but your mind is telling your body, you can't do that. Nope. Hey, that's too high. Nope, don't do it. Don't try it. No, it's too much. That's what my brain did at the beginning when I almost walked off. And I told her, I was like, look, your brain is telling you this. I go, your body is strong. You can do this. So we get up over the obstacles, boom, 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 boom. Get up over the obstacles, boom, 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 boom. And after that race, after that start of that race, my asthma didn't kick in anymore because I wasn't thinking about it anymore. I wasn't focused on it. See, the thing is fear, and what you focus on, it becomes true. There's another lesson. And so I was focusing on the fact that I was gonna have an asthma attack, and I had one. So if I wasn't focused on it, like I didn't do the rest of the race, I was focused on being tired as all get out, it didn't happen. So that was something beautiful and pretty big, is that I figured out, wait a second, it was all mental. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the next piece. Obstacles will be there. So in the race, you're running, the obstacle itself was stairs all day, up and down and up and down. If you've ever been to Busch Stadium, you know all the stairs. Well, now I know them personally. We even went to some of the back, it was a big giant tour of Busch Stadium, inside and outside, backwards and forwards. Obstacles were there, and you had to either go over the obstacles or go around them. If you go around them, you have to do 10 burpees. But the object of this is to go up the obstacle or complete the obstacle. And luckily she was with me. She did slow me down. Understand that. But I'm glad she did, because I got a chance to help somebody else. I don't know. She said to me, I don't know if I would have completed a lot of the stuff I did if it wasn't for you being there. And that was pretty cool. So the obstacles that we got into, I made sure she could do it, and I did my own. And I made sure that I could do each obstacle. And when I couldn't do it, like there was one I did, there was about 2 or 3 I could not end up doing. I'm heavier, I'm 240 something. So, hanging myself up by some rings is kind of hard to do. I did knock the rope out though. I climbed up the rope, ding, 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 just like in gym class. So that was pretty cool. So that's one of the biggest things. So the other thing is that when I was talking with her, is she said she wasn't prepared for this. And I'm thinking in my head, I wasn't prepared for this. And this is why I'm going to go ahead and divulge. Like, AJ and Jenna, thank you so much for everything you guys have been doing for me with the training at the gym. I'm telling you right now, UFC Gym, you guys are great. Your group classes are great. Those HIIT classes, those exercise classes are great. Because without those, I probably wouldn't have made it through. Not even going to lie. And I learned as I was going through there, and here's a lesson. You can plan and plan all you want to, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be successful. And you can't plan for everything. You can plan for anything in the world, but you can't plan for everything. You can only make yourself better. You can only grow yourself to a certain level and hope that whatever comes at you, you're able to attack head on. And that's exactly what I did. The obstacles were no problem. I mean, we had, I think like, had to be 5-gallon jugs of water, and we had to carry them up the stairs, and I'm just jogging up the stairs, getting it. I mean, just killing all these obstacles at the best I can, and I know it had a lot to do with who you guys are and what you guys have created in me, and I appreciate it. And so, you know, we're going to keep on going. You know, we got a long way to go. So you can plan and plan, and it doesn't mean anything. And that's one of the things she said. She said, I didn't plan for this. I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. And you can prepare all you want to, but just because you prepare doesn't mean you're ready. But once you get your body, just get your body to a higher level so you're ready to take on anything. Okay? So another part of the race, I got cocky because I was having a good time and I wasn't using a lot of my wind because she had, you know, slowed me down a little bit, but in the best way, because I was making sure my teammate was pushing through. Sometimes it's not about you, okay? I've been learning that more and more. We came to this sandbag, and I threw one on my shoulder, and I looked at the lady who was there. I was like, okay. She's like, yeah, this is the guys, this is the girls. I was like, okay, cool. So I grabbed one of the guys, threw it on my shoulder. I was like, so what do we do? She's like, you're gonna walk around, you have like a whole bunch of different pieces that'll bring you right back here to drop off the sandbag. I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm DeMarcus. I got this. I'm strong. I pick up another sandbag and I throw it on my shoulders. So now I got one here and one here. I got two of these big old sandbags. And there we go. I'm off. And what it was going up the stairs, over, down, up, over, down, up, over, down, around, up, over, down. And all of a sudden this weight, because it was light at the start, but when I started getting into the energy and the action of it, it was a little heavier than I was expecting, you know what I'm saying? And so I kept going, and you know, it was crazy because I had to sit down and stop because it was too heavy. I had to rest. My legs were burning. I was on fire, but I had to get through it, right? So this is another lesson is that, you know, you got to be careful about taking on more than you can chew just because you want to show off or just because you think you can do it. You got to be aware. I'm not saying don't push yourself to your limits, but be aware of what you're doing and if you're taking on more than you can chew. Now, here's the other part of that. It's okay to take on more than you can chew, but you better freaking finish. You better freaking finish. So when I got through it, I realized I was going to drop one of the weights. I was like, but you know what, DeMarcus, you picked this up. And her name was Emily. She's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah. She's like, you want me to weigh? I was like, no, go ahead. Go on ahead. And I was like, I'm learning a lesson right now. I'm in the midst of learning a lesson because I've got these two big old things on my shoulders, you know, weighing me down as I'm going up these stairs, and I'm barely completing this. But that was something I chose. I chose to take that off. I literally chose both of the bags, and I only needed to take one. And so we're getting towards the end, and I'm going down the stairs, and I'm sitting down, there's another guy sitting down, there's another guy sitting down, so we all get up and walking. I was like, yeah. I go, this is heavy. He goes, yeah, man, they're 60 pounds each. I was like, I'm kidding. You gotta be kidding me. I'm carrying 120 pounds on my shoulders around, up and down the bleachers. No wonder I'm freaking tired. That makes perfect sense. But if you're gonna go ahead and bite off more than you can chew, make sure you complete it. It's as simple as that. Don't just take it on and then quit and drop it because that was your decision. You gotta finish. You gotta work through it. It's not gonna be easy, but you can do it. Okay. And then let's see here. And then the last one here that I'm gonna go into here is the sixth one. And that is, as we got through, we had plywood boxes jumped in, you know, we had this. I got a chance to go inside the locker room of the visitors team. It was pretty cool. They come out to at the end, we got it. I'm climbing the rope, boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden I get a cramp in my leg, and now all of a sudden I'm moving a little slower because it was all arms and I was freaking dying. But I got up to the top and I get to the end and I make it and everything else, and I need bananas and everything else. And the long story short of everything, that whole race, 20 some odd obstacles, stairs and stairs galore, 3.2 miles. Perfect for me, and I'm going to start doing a lot more training to make sure. But the idea behind it is, at the end of the day, guys, don't quit. No matter what. Emily said she would have quit. Her parents were there, and they were there watching it first, and she decided to run the race, I think, and that's why she ran it alone, but her parents didn't go. She was alone, and I was alone, but I didn't quit. No matter what happened, I didn't quit. And, you know, it's something big that can be said whenever you can honestly look at yourself in the morning and say, no matter how hard it was, no matter how bad it went, no matter how good everybody seems to have it, no matter how fast everybody else is seeing to pass you, you know, you didn't quit. And not only did you not quit, but you were able to affect some people around you. And so that's all I've gotten. I'm going to recap these really quick. Taking on more you can chew. If you're going to take on more than you can chew because of ego, whatever you take on, you got to finish it. You better finish it. You can plan it. Number two, you can plan and plan all day long, but everybody has a, Mike Tyson, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. But you can plan and plan all day long, but you can only plan up to so much because you don't know what it's going to be like. Number three, fear will talk you out of it, whatever it is. Whatever it is that you want, and it's going to test you to see, one, if you really want it. If you don't want it, it's going to give you a scapegoat. If you do want it, and then the other reason that fear is going to talk you out of it is going to keep you safe. So make sure that you're recognizing what your fear is and you're going to go anyway, okay? Number four is going to be, no matter what, don't quit. Be a champion. Finish whatever you started, because you can say at the end of the day, I finished. I made it. I did not quit. Number five, there's going to be obstacles in life that you're not going to be able to be ready for, and they're just going to come around the corner. It was funny because I was jogging with her. I was doing kind of double time to her walking steps, so I'm getting my steps in, and all of a sudden we turn the corner, boom, there's an obstacle. How many times is that like life, where you turn the corner and all of a sudden there's an obstacle in front of you, right? And then last but not least, this is huge. Number six, your mind will give up a long time before your body does. Your mind will quit long before your body does. And so make sure that you realize that what's stopping you and telling your body that it's super tired is not your body. It's your mind saying you're in pain and it wants you to be comfortable. So your mind's trying to put you back in a state to where you are comfortable. And when you do all that, you pay attention to how that applies to your life, and you recognize all six of these, and you take them on head on, and you see what they are, and you acknowledge them, something great will happen. And I'm so glad I ran that race yesterday. Thank you for the person who gave me the inspiration to do it, because I was going to talk myself out of it. And, you know, that's another thing. Sometimes you're going to talk yourself out of things, but, you know, look towards people who you think are positive-minded and who have your best interests at heart, and they will help you to get the answer because they'll know you. Or maybe they don't know you well enough, but they know what should be the right answer, and they'll send you on their way. So that's all I have. Thank you for being here. You got your Sunday sermons. You can go home now. Amen. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I hope you guys do have a blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow. I believe in loving each and every one of you, and I thank you for being here. And I just want you, and I'm showing you my medal, not because what it represents is not about me. It's not about me. It's about everything that I accomplished that day, all the hardships and trials I accomplished. But I got through them so so graciously because I had help from above. My gosh, I had help from above. And then from Emily, who was there with me, believe it or not, me helping her helped me. And so, yeah, that's all I have to say. And I hope you guys become champions today in some way, shape, or form, because you got it and you deserve it. And that's all I have. So thank you for being here. I know it's a long video, but I appreciate you. I love you guys. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.